Brittany and Kendall, it's time for... So this is crazy in the world of Aaron Rodgers and Shailene Woodley. They were together for a while, and she never, when they broke up in 2022, she never commented on their relationship. When they were together, she never commented on a relationship, and she definitely didn't talk about it when they were done. She finally started talking about it. She had an interview with Outside.
Okay, whoever they are.
Well, they got their goods, I'll tell you that. She said, I had a really awful traumatic thing happen in early 2022. I felt like I lost my soul, myself, my happiness, my joy. I really understood depression and anxiety and like complete soul detachment.
Ooh.
She said that she talked about a toxic situation. And she was kind of like hinting, she was saying it was about someone else, not just like someone outside of her.
Right.
And she said it kind of kept me in this loop of feeling everything for everyone. I knew I was depressed when I looked at a tree and felt nothing. That was the lowest low of my life.
Wait,
Like some people have feelings about trees
and
felt
she realized that she felt nothing and that was the lowest point of her life. I'm thinking like, a casket or like someone's like empty bedroom or like my dog's leash. Like I looked at a tree and I realized it was the emptiest moment.
Yeah. Like some people would apply that to other things and like feel, but maybe she's just really attached. She's a clay eater, as you know.
She is. I mean, I laugh and I am kind of laughing at her, but I'm also like, okay, girl, like, and I see you.
And I don't mean that pejoratively. I literally mean she eats clay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
For her digestive system.
Wild that this is all coming out right now, is it not, Mike?
It kind of is, considering this broke early yesterday and then late yesterday. We've got our first look, our first trailer for something that really hadn't been talked about a lot. It's a 3-part documentary called Aaron Rodgers' Enigma, coming to Netflix. To give you an idea of maybe what to experience and what you will experience when you watch this, it opens up with Aaron laying on some sort of like a massage table with a woman holding her hand on his face and these 2 metal drums. And then you hear this.
I live between 2 worlds of the extroverted
1, 2, 3, Tommy!
And an introverted lover of silence.
That's all I'm giving you.
Introverted
I just
lover.
get Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
But like almost like when him when he was kind of mocking himself in the massively, what's the one called that I always get
Yes,
wrong?
the massive talent, weight of talent.
Yeah.
What?
Mike, no.
You'll get there.
The weight of massive talent?
Talentedly weighty.
You're almost there.
The incredible weight of massive talent?
No, I'm actually second guessing myself. Thanks a lot for that. Isn't the unbearable weight of massive talent, I think?
Yes. Yeah.
Unbearable. That is
We're
what he sounds like. He sounds like Nicolas Cage playing this character.
And let's be honest, he kind of looks like him too.
I know.
If we're going to do a spinoff and like one that doesn't have Aaron Rodgers' fingerprints all over it, because that is the one thing you asked me, Brittany, right away when it comes to this documentary. Is Aaron involved? I believe he is, but I will say don't get too nervous because I think Aaron Rodgers thinks his true story is not as bizarre as we think his true story is.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that because there's nothing I hate more as when anybody who has a documentary done for them, if they get final edit or they produce, and I go, I don't think you have the capability of sharing scars and all as much as like, especially Aaron Rodgers. But you're right. I do think he's delusional enough to think that what he does is mainstream.
Oh, he's definitely Delulu. I just think too, one, if this somehow goes well for him, and there's a huge possibility that it could, like everybody, I loved Beckham. I thought it was great. It's kind of the only other thing I can think of that's been really recently about a major athlete other than Simone Biles rising, which was totally different because she's Simone. But I'm like, if this goes well, people really like him. Dude, it's time to retire. Like, go out on your high note before you do something else unhinged. He's been, like, he got injured last year. They're not that great this year. Like, just be done.
Is he playing full? Is like he's the quarterback right now for the Jets? Like, is he playing every game?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. So
yeah.
He recovered enough. They just didn't do well enough to, like, be notable.
No, I mean, there was a huge everyone was like, whoa, he's going to the Jets. I mean, he's getting older, obviously. Green Bay, like, moved on. They've been doing really well.
Yeah.
They don't need, once again, they have a great quarterback to the pain of all of us Vikings fans.
Yeah.
But he goes over to the Jets and they have HBO does Hard Knocks on them. Like, there's so much hype behind him, behind Sauce Gardner, behind like all these people that are going on with the Jets. And he gets hurt on that first play.
game.
And
Yeah.
it's like, quiet. It's crickets. And this season, it's been pretty much crickets too.
I mean, it was impressive that he was able to recover even then, like, just 1 year because the injury they talked about. They're like, at first, remember, they're like, he's not coming back. And he's like, oh, I'm coming back. He's like, let me go to Puerto Rico for a second and do some ayahuasca.
Yeah, and have your darkness retreat. Now, I will say this documentary sounds like they're talking about everything, losing his friendships, losing his family. If you don't know this story about him and his parents, also the controversial views about the I'm immunized when he made that comment when everyone who was going to participate in the NFL had to get the COVID shot. He had his different feelings about it. You have the Jimmy Kimmel and the Epstein list situation. Like, it touches on all of the hot topics.
All right.
Well, the fact that Shailene, to your point, Britt, too, like Shailene Woodley is now talking about it and she had not really said a word.
And they've always been on and off again. So, I mean, it's one of those things where I feel like moth to the flame thing is that, like, I wouldn't be shocked if they at some point got back together because they had such a long break and then went back and all that stuff. So if there was a reason she's talking about it to help him, I wouldn't be shocked.
Some feel there might have been some crossover because they met, of course, through mutual friend Danica Patrick while he was dating Danica. So there's a lot of connective tissue that could make this a really interesting story. December 17th, by the way, is when it hits Netflix.
And you said it's 3 parts?
3-part documentary.
Okay.
The minute I realized, like, Aaron Rodgers was insane was when his brother was on The Bachelor.
Yes.
And I was like, why are they talking about him like he's dead?
He's dead.
Yeah,
and
they would walk
his
around.
very normal seeming.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, if the person on The Bachelorette is the normal one,
Uh-huh.
not a good sign, bro.
Not a good sign.